All right, time now for our Sunrise Smart Start.
A house is badly damaged after a fire that happened in Rochester. Crews responding to the scene on Berlin Street. This was around 2:30 this morning. Officials say that fire spread to both floors of the two-story structure after a vehicle caught fire next to it. A portion of the roof had to be cut out. Officials say the house is a total loss. Crews say this was a tough fire to get under control.
One man hospitalized after a crash on Lake Avenue in Rochester late Monday. Officers responded around 11:30. They say the vehicle left the roadway, struck a parked car and light pole. The man had to be pulled from that vehicle by the Rochester Fire Department. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries to the lower body. Police say alcohol was a factor, and the driver is being charged with DWI. Well, a year ago today, schools in Monroe County closing their doors because of COVID-19. Many remain closed for months. McQuaid Jesuits submitted a plan for 5-day-a-week in-person education over last summer and have been operating that way all year this year. Many public schools like Gananda, school districts like Gananda, are looking to make the transition to full in-person 5-day-a-week education like McQuaid has, or perhaps 4 days a week.
For a lot of the districts, it's about classroom sizes and how many kids and how many desks you can fit with 6 feet of distancing. So that's why that 3 feet is really going to be important. Once we go to 3 feet, that changes the number of desks and kids you can actually fit in the room.
We made the determination fairly early on that we were going to commit to being in person 5 days a week. What allowed us to do that was a really close assessment of our facilities. We're blessed with a large campus and also with a new classroom addition that's mainly science and computer classrooms, but are very large spaces.
Well, eligibility for the COVID vaccine is expanding in New York starting tomorrow. Under the new rules, government employees, nonprofit workers, and essential building service workers can get the shot. Last week, the state announcing New Yorkers who are 60 or older can receive the vaccine. Well, county officials are reminding residents the large gathering submission form is now available online. That form is for non-residential food service site operators. They must notify the Department of Health about any large events, such as weddings, receptions, that can now host up to 150 guests. Venues will also be required to submit contact information for all those who attend within 48 hours. That online form can be found at monroecounty.gov.
The Rochester Police Department announcing some new changes in the way officers operate. A ban on chokeholds was announced yesterday, along with the new directive, Duty to Intervene, which says an officer can stop other officers from using what is considered unnecessary force. While some local officials say the initiatives are steps toward reform, the Police Accountability Board says the PAB was not consulted on these new decisions.
Well, lawmakers from both parties have called on Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign. A majority of New Yorkers surveyed in a Siena College poll, well, they say the governor should remain in office. The poll reports 50% of respondents say Cuomo should stay in office, compared to 35%. The poll also found 48% of respondents believe Governor Cuomo can still effectively carry out his job as governor. The governor's favorability rating and his re-elect numbers are both down 19 points.
Well, Josh, temperatures this morning pretty similar to where we were yesterday at this time.
Certainly still feels almost just as cold with the wind chills down into the teens. A mostly cloudy sky out there right now. We're at 24 in Webster. Good morning to you in Brockport. You're also at 24 degrees. And good morning, South Bristol. You're at 22. Feels like 13, as I mentioned. We've got increasing clouds, a sprinkle or flurry, maybe a patch of freezing drizzle well south of Rochester later today. Nice little bump in temperature today. We just lose that brilliant sun with an overcast sky, and again, maybe that light wintry mix. Highs into the 40s.
Josh, thank you. Time now for a check of our sunrise traffic. Following that heavy police presence on Ferncliff Drive in Rochester, Ferncliff closed in both directions at Northland, so avoid that area. We have a crew on the way. Volume picking up on the west side coming in along 490, but no report of any slowdowns along 490, 390, or 590 as well.
Well, President Biden and Vice President Harris will travel to Pennsylvania today, continuing to explain, that is, the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill to struggling Americans.
Joined by Washington correspondent Basil John, once again, live outside the Capitol. Basil, good morning. Great to have you with us once again. What is the President and Vice President discussing? What did they talk about on their first stops on this tour?
Well, good morning, guys. And yes, one of the main topics that they ended up discussing was just generally about how necessary the COVID relief deal was for it to be passed to help Americans, really trying to drive that message home, even though there was no bipartisan effort at the end of the day when it came to the package being passed. On top of that, there was a heavy emphasis on vaccine rollout and still encouraging masking and social distancing while the United States tries to catch up and reach that goal of 100 million vaccines within 100 days, even though the administration is already on track to surpass that well before it. I believe the target is actually at 60 days right now. That's what they're expecting. On top of that, it's also encouragement to the American people for going back to school eventually, allowing for things to slowly get back to how they were before the pandemic, and just bringing a sense of normalcy back in. It's a very different message of where usually the president and the vice president are overcautious in their speeches whenever they're speaking to the American public, but this is more of one of a future optimism that the American people should expect.
Yeah, certainly good to hear. Heading in the right direction, as we've been saying. Thank you so much, Basil, for that reporting. The president will travel to Georgia on Friday.
And we'll, of course, follow that. In the meantime, time now for the GRE Morning Business Report. The first major tax hike in nearly 3 decades could be looming. According to Bloomberg, the Biden administration is planning the first major federal tax increase since 1993. The White House is expected to propose a slew of changes, including raising the corporate tax rate and increasing income tax rates on those making more than $400,000 a year.
All right, more people appear to be hopping on airplanes. The TSA said it screened more than 1.3 million passengers at airport security checkpoints nationwide Sunday. The increase comes as states expand vaccine eligibility.
Well, the Treasury Department and the IRS says they have begun processing the new round of COVID relief payments. If you are eligible to get a third stimulus check, you can use the Get My Payment tool on the IRS website to see when your payment will be deposited into your bank account.
Wells Fargo and Chase customers have been told it may take until Wednesday before they start to see their stimulus payments. Wells Fargo says it will make direct deposits based on the effective date given by the IRS. Meanwhile, Chase encouraging customers to set up an alert so you know when the money is available. Some customers are expressing frustration with the delay, with some even threatening to close their accounts.
News from around the state this morning. The State Board of Regents is issuing some emergency revisions on diplomas and testing requirements. The emergency actions include canceling the August Regents exams, and only 4 of the June Regents exams will be administered. The state previously submitted a federal waiver to cancel all state-mandated exams for the current academic year. However, the U.S. Department of Education rejected that waiver back in February.
All right, more details from the officer-involved shooting of a teen in Jamesville. None of the 4 officers from 3 different agencies who shot 17-year-old Judson Album were wearing body cameras. According to current policy, state police and the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office are not required to wear body cameras. DeWitt Police mandates its uniformed patrol officers do wear them, but the 2 DeWitt officers involved were investigators, not patrol officers.
All right, let's get a look at what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. 2 suspects charged with assaulting Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who died after the attack on the U.S. Capitol back on January 6th.
Law enforcement accusing the 2 men of assaulting officers, including Sicknick. Over 300 people have been arrested so far as part of the investigation into the riot.
Of course, we'll continue to follow that as well. In the meantime, bundling up on this Tuesday morning, Josh, with temperatures still in the low 20s at this hour.
And the wind chills, they're down into the teens and even some single digits over parts of the Finger Lakes. So we still have that chill, but the good news is that the mercury will rebound nicely, unlike yesterday. Unfortunately, we lose that brilliant sunshine of yesterday, and we deal with cloudiness throughout the day and possibly even a patch or 2 of a light wintry mix. Largely well south of Rochester, Wyoming County, parts of the southern tier, you could see a little light freezing drizzle or a flurry or perhaps even a sprinkle. And there it is on radar. It's really weakening, and that precipitation as it tracks to the north and east is running into a lot of dry air. So I think all we'll see is, again, a flurry or a sprinkle or patch or two of that freezing drizzle, and then it's just rather cloudy throughout the day and into this evening. But again, temperatures do make their way into the mid-40s, unlike yesterday's upper 20s, and that wind will be coming in instead of out of the north, out of the southeast as we head through the afternoon and into tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update coming up in just about 30 minutes. CBS This Morning is up next. Be safe and have a great Tuesday.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our apps for both news and weather.